News Talk K20 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227 on the Chris Crock Show. All right, there's an amazing amount of stuff that came out today and over the weekend that is so bad for Joe Biden and his chances that we must talk about this. There's a new ad that Joe Biden has rolled out all of a sudden today. There is some new polling, and it's all spelling doom, doom, and doom. And there really is really no other way to look at it. Let me give you a few examples. You have Karine Jean-Pierre today being asked about, I don't know if you caught this, it's on my Twitter feed. You got to follow me on Twitter at Chris Crock Show. That's at Chris Crock Show. Over the weekend, there was a fundraiser in Hollywood, and when it was wrapped up on stage, Barack Obama was with the president, and the president was once again at the end of the event standing there, didn't know what to do, was just frozen. And Barack puts his hand on the back of Joe's hand and then turns him around and escorts him off the stage because he doesn't know what's going on. Like your elderly grandpa who's starting to lose their faculties, so you lovingly shepherd them around. It happened again, So that happened over the weekend, and then it happened, as we know, days earlier in Italy with the Italian prime minister taking his hand, turning him around, because it's like, hey, dude, we're over here. So KJP was finally asked about this, and here's what she said. This is crazy what she says, their new excuse.
So that is what about nothing, and he's totally normal.
What I'm saying is, this is a president, right? Let's step back for a second. Instead of, and I said this moments ago, instead of Republicans, focusing on the president's performance in office and what he's been able to accomplish, his actual record, they do these cheap fakes. They are cheap fakes. And you're asking me about the Maloney. You're asking me what happened. That video was okay. Let's talk about Juneteenth. The president stood there listening to the music, and he didn't dance. Excuse me, I did not know not dancing was a health issue. That is a weird thing to actually flag when if you look at the people who are around him, you look at the expanded video of the people who were around him, they were not. There were some folks who were not dancing either, and that has been fact checked. I mean, just because you're standing up listening to music and not dancing, that is not a health issue. That is just not a health issue.
So it's a cheap fake, another new word to explain away why Joe Biden is freezing all the time. And by the way, that is a sign of Alzheimer's. That is one of the characteristic signs of Alzheimer's. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Second of all, you have, and I have a dear friend who has Alzheimer's. And no, he has Parkinson's. I'm sorry. In fact, this is a telltale sign. Forgive me. It's a telltale sign of Parkinson's. That's what it was. So I have the story about it in a little bit from a doctor and stuff. But I have a dear friend of mine who has that too. And he just shouldn't be the president if you're suffering like he is. Here is Harry Enton from Fake News CNN. Actually, before I play it, I'm going to tell you this. There's a brand new poll that Harry Enton from CNN reacted to. It's a USA Today poll, and it shows that Biden has lost more than 20% of black voters. Biden has lost more than 20% of the black vote in Michigan and Pennsylvania. And he literally says, I'm speechless. This is careening towards an historic performance for Donald J. Trump, one the likes of which we have not seen, I think he said, for 4 or 5 decades. That kind of a trouncing. I'll play that audio in a second. All this is going on, and in the meantime, there's a secret plot to replace Biden. And I'll give you all the details on that coming up, but that's from the Daily Mail today. It's laid out from Democrat sources. A brand new poll from Polymarket Polling says Trump's chances of winning in November are 22% higher than Biden's. And I'll give you those details too. This is unbelievable. So do you actually think Joe Biden is going to end up being yanked off the Democrat ticket before the election this fall? You think they'll actually yank him? And how likely do you think a Trump win is as of today? How likely is it that he'll win in November as of right now? 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Do you think Joe Biden's going to end up getting yanked off the Democrat ticket before the election this fall? And how likely do you think a Trump win as of right now today? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Here is Harry Ensign, the chief pollster, the top pollster of all of CNN, reacting to the USA Today poll, and he explains it and breaks it down. You cannot get a scarier situation for Joe Biden and a better situation for Donald J. Trump as of all the stuff we're hearing today.
Has not yet. So this is the margin, or Biden and Trump among black voters, compare where we were at this point in 2020, compare where we are now. At this point, look at this. In 2020, Joe Biden was getting 86% of the African-American vote. Look at where it is now. It's 70%. That's a 16-point drop, John. And more than that, it's not just that Joe Biden is losing ground. It's that Donald Trump is gaining ground. You go from 7%, single digits at this point in 2020, to now 21%. And again, John, I keep looking for signs that this is going to go back to normal, and I don't see it yet in the polling. If anything, right now we're careening towards a historic performance for a Republican presidential candidate, the likes of which we have not seen in 6 decades.
Yeah, sorry, I was wrong. 60 years, not 50, not 40 or 50 years. 60-year kind of a landslide. Isn't that amazing? What is that, Nixon? That's amazing, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. So what do you think? Do you think Biden's going to end up getting yanked off the Democrat ticket before the election this fall? And how likely is a Trump win as of right now? 800-288-WBAP. Ken in Arlington, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP. Hi, Ken.
Hey, I got a question. Now, when Biden made the comment, Barack Obama, the first clean, articulate, educated man,
yes.
Does that mean he's scoring the racist off the stage now?
Wait, does that mean that oh, do you mean, does that mean that who's escorting a racist off the stage?
Obama, because remember that he's helping the elderly person off the stage when Biden called him the first clean, articulate.
Yeah, so you're saying it's just interesting the guy that he was racially offensive towards is now helping him walk off the stage?
Yeah, the tail finally got caught when the dog was chasing the tail.
Very interesting. This all has me convinced that it really is a fourth, and it would be a third term, and now it'll be a fourth term of Barack Obama and the radical people that have filled up his offices. They're really running the show. He just loves the handshaking, the butt kissing, and all the plaudits, laudits, and jets, and everything else. I appreciate your call, Ken. Eddie in Dallas, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP. Hi, Eddie.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm not good. Why? Because we don't have a real president of the United States. They're going to push him. Yeah, they're going to push him all right, so they can get Kamala, the do-nothing, nobody in life, worst vice president of the world, to go in there and start giggling and cackling through the next presidency. What's going to happen?
Right?
Right? Yeah, exactly. So what's happening is they're taking a guy who's a pedophile, a guy who sniffs little girls, always talking to little girls.
Wait. You're saying Joe's a pedophile. His daughter has said she showered with him naked, and she said she was molested. We don't know by whom, but she showered with Joe naked when she was 3, she said. We know that. Yeah. So I don't know if he's a molester.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's a pedo.
Well,
he loves little girls. Anyways,
what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to take him off? Are they going to yank him off the Democrat ticket before the election this fall? And how likely is a Trump win as of right now?
If they pull him off, and I don't think they're going to yank him, but if they do, they're going to for sure put Gavin. Gavin's trying to make like they're not talking to him,
right?
And they're going to put Gavin.
Right.
And as soon as we but remember, you're talking about zombies. The Democratic Party, the far left, are literally wacko.
Well, listen. I think that they're going to try to take him off because I think I am now convinced, and I haven't been like this for a while. This is new, particularly over the weekend. I have now become convinced that, first of all, he's not going to get off no matter what. And I do believe that we're seeing a downslide that's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. Like, when people say time does not help you with what he's dealing with in his issues, I agree that's true. And that means you're getting progressively worse, whether it looks like it could be Parkinson's now is what some are saying. But the thing is, and I'll get into those details in a little bit with a doctor's surmise, who doesn't treat him, but somebody who surmises from what they're seeing in the symptoms. But I think he'll never relinquish. I think we're going to see it get worse and worse, and I think that they're going to end up trying that plan of yanking him, but it's going to be too close, and he will not leave under any circumstances. And I think you're going to see the Hindenburg, and I have not said this until today. I do think we're going to see the Hindenburg happen in front of our eyes.
Yes, but I feel, honestly...
But we can't plan on that. We can't plan on that being the case. What?
But listen, I want you to hear me out.
Quickly, I got 10 seconds.
We're living in a twilight zone, okay? People are putting real money behind this old, decrepit, do-nothing
Of course they
nobody.
are. Yes, they are, because
and they're
that's what...
putting behind it because you got AOC, that loser who doesn't know math, who doesn't care about the country.
That's not why.
You got Ilyana Omar, Rashida Tlaib, who literally want the death of Israel, and they want the death of this government, and they're sympathizing with the rest of the world because of slavery.
Okay.
So,
all right. I got to roll, but you got your 10 seconds in. I really appreciate you, Eddie. I love the fire in your belly, my friend. Keep calling. Coming up next, we're going to get... I'll tell you what real fast about Eddie. I think he's wrong. I think that Tlaib and all these radical leftists, they are Joe's beholden to them because he needs their vote, particularly in Michigan and Wisconsin, and possibly Minnesota, but most likely not. So he has to appease this leftist wing, otherwise they won't vote for him and all their acolytes all over the country, and he'll lose. He needs that 1 to 5%, whatever it is. But and he knows that. That's why he's doing this. But it's not going to be... That's not what's behind this. The people who are like Joe and are voting for him, it's not because he's a great president. It's because his policies are exactly what they want. Abortion, printing money, getting people dependent on government handouts, moving us more towards socialism. That's why they want to vote for him. Not because he's great or he's a great leader, because everybody knows it's over with for him. But they still want the policies, and they know they'll get that if they keep voting for him. I appreciate your call. We got several lines open for you right now. Do you think Biden's going to end up getting yanked off the Democrat ticket before the election this fall? And how likely do you think a Trump win is as of today? And I will give you details next on a secret Democrat plot to replace Joe Biden has been revealed by the Daily Mail today. I take this very seriously. The Daily Mail is a very top publication, and they get a lot of stuff right for we ever do, and they do a lot of stuff that our media will never do, even though it's truthful. So that is coming up next. Plus, you're going to hear more audio where KJP is talking about this is all fake. The video, everything you're seeing with Joe getting lost, being frozen, looking the wrong way, is all fake. She's claiming it's a cheap fake. It's all edited. I've got more of that from a press conference today. Next on the Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
And instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country, we're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos. And it is, again, done in bad faith.
Well, that's one piece. Here's another one.
There seems to be a sort of rash of videos that have been edited to make the president appear especially frail or mentally confused. I'm wondering if the White House is especially worried about the fact that this appears to be a pattern that we're seeing more often.
Yeah, and I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith, and some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation.
Well, what do you think? Are these videos that you see Joe Biden staring into space, not moving, having stiff arms, kind of crooked? Do you think this means? Do you think these are cheap fakes? Is that altered video? Do you think Republican operatives are jiggering the video, or creating some kind of a fake AI video of Joe Biden, or is that him staring into space and not knowing where he's at and needing to be taken like a small child by the hand and let off a stage? What do you think? Do you believe KJP? Is the problem us? Are our eyes Are we like lying to ourselves or something? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. By the way, there's a brand new Biden ad that is attacking, quote, convicted felon Trump. I'll play for you in a second. Here's my questions. Do you think Biden's going to end up getting yanked off the Democrat ticket before the election this fall? How likely do you think a Trump win is as of today? As of right now, I think it's quite possible for a landslide win. I would never say that. I'm not trying to be stupid and fantastical. In a week, it could change where we're going to lose for sure, honestly, based on how things go. A week is a political lifetime. But today, it looks unbelievable. That's why Harry Enton, the top pollster, the senior data reporter at Fake News CNN, says, I'm speechless. And that Trump is careening towards a historic performance with black voters since Joe Biden has lost 21% of the black votes since 4 years ago in the last election in Michigan and Pennsylvania. That's unbelievable. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Lines wide open. Chime in right now. And here's the secret plot to replace Biden revealed from the Daily Mail. Barack Obama seen Saturday reaching for Biden's hand, seemingly guiding the 81-year-old off the stage. He stared blankly for a full minute at Juneteenth celebration on Monday. Eventually, the brother of George Floyd, that's who wrapped his arm around him to help him. To bail him out. And then a White House spokesperson, Andrew Bates, is denying that Biden froze in these videos, calling it a cheap fake. I don't know anybody who thinks those videos are altered. I guess this is what you have to do when it's such an obvious problem. You just have to lie and keep saying everything's fine as the Hindenburg blows up right in front of our eyes, which is happening slowly. I believe we're going to see a Hindenburg candidacy in the last several months of this campaign. I really do. The average approval rating of Biden, according to Nate Silver's 538 widely respected poll, 37.4%. And these are unbelievably historical lows for any president running for re-election. So the only people who could force him out, they say, it would be Barack, Hillary, Bill Clinton, not Hillary, but Bill Clinton, and Barack Hussein Obama, and Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer. One Democrat strategist told the Daily Mail it would have to be the four of them collectively. They could do it. They are doing a virtual roll call, an online Democrat nomination process. That way they can control the process if the party decides to select a replacement candidate. They would quietly substitute a nominee in advance. It would not be Kamala. It would not be. According to sources, she only becomes a nominee if Biden dies. That's literally what they said. That's not going to happen. Wow, this is incredible, isn't it? We have never seen this before, have we? I mean, maybe you could compare to previous presidents. Who was it? Was it Roosevelt that was in the who had trouble standing? Who was the president? Remember that? Or it was Truman, wasn't it? Okay. Yeah. We think it was Roosevelt. I can double check. But remember, they hit it, and then they only, well, who went down to Warm Springs, Georgia? Wasn't that Roosevelt? And for the springs and stuff with polio? I can't recall exactly, but anyways, was that it? No. Was it FDR? Thank you. Roosevelt. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That's FDR. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you. That's what I thought. It was Roosevelt. So I think Joe's like that, but you can't hide it like when Roosevelt. You couldn't hide what happened to Roosevelt now. All right. Coming up next, I'm going to share with you Biden and the Trump campaigns. We have a brand new agreement. We have the official agreements for Fake News CNN for the debate coming up in a week and a half. Don't miss this next.
Has not yet. So this is the margin, or Biden and Trump among black voters, compare where we were at this point in 2020, compare where we are now. At this point, look at this. In 2020, Joe Biden was getting 86% of the African-American vote. Look at where it is now. It's 70%. That's a 16-point drop, John. And more than that, it's not just that Joe Biden is losing ground. It's that Donald Trump is gaining ground. You go from 7%, single digits at this point in 2020, to now 21%. And again, John, I keep looking for signs that this is going to go back to normal, and I don't see it yet in the polling. If anything, right now we're careening towards a historic performance for Republican presidential candidate, the likes of which we have not seen in 6 decades.
Okay, that is CNN's top pollster, Harry Ensign, shocked at the polling numbers from USA Today showing that Biden has lost 21% approximately of the black vote in Michigan and Pennsylvania. So the other thing is, and that we might be going towards a historic victory, which we haven't seen in 60 years. Do the math on that. 60 years back here would be like 70, 60 something. That's got to be Nixon, is my guesstimation. Okay, we're going to get into what the campaigns have agreed to. The debate will be happening in a week and a half. Can you believe that? A week from Thursday, the debates happen. The first debate between Trump, and Biden. That's insane. The rules redound to Biden's favor, but there's things that Trump can do, and I want to talk to you about that. I want to ask you about that. What do you think? If you think these conditions are favorable for Biden or for Trump, and what would your advice be to President Trump on this debate? At 800-288-WBAP. It's Chris Crock, by the way, on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. 800-288-WBAP is our number. That's 800-288-9227. I'm also going to be debuting in like 3 minutes for you the brand new Biden ad today that was unveiled today, talking about Trump being a convicted felon. Joe's like, look what I did. Look at me. Look, I'm working hard, and Trump's going to go into jail. Of course, he was the one that orchestrated all this, and now he acts like it's like, it's just so sick. But here's the debate stuff first. We have a week and a half. It's going to be in Atlanta, June 27th, Thursday. 90 minutes with only 2 commercial breaks. Hour and a half with only 2 commercial breaks. The campaign staff may not interact with their candidate during the break. Good, isn't it great? Because they'll come on and go, Joe. Okay. You know what I thought about today as I was getting into my car? At least it wasn't me getting in the shower like I usually tell you I'm doing. Giving you horrific descriptions, horrific thoughts in your mind that you could never erase. So I'm getting into my car on the way to come down to the station, and I'm thinking they're going to juice them up like usual with some kind of amphetamines or something so they can be focused, hyper-focused, have energy. But guess what? What if they accidentally juice them up a little too much? And what if the best doctors in the world are like, well, we do our best and that we can't, I'm feeling like something's going to happen. Like, he's going to do his stuff and everything. He's not going to, but he's going to have some issues with his meds. I'm just feeling like that's going to happen, where he goes over the top because he has been given too much. Did you hear what he did today at with the press? He was mocking the press. Listen to this. You got to listen closely. The press, the gaggle ended or whatever. The press conference ended or whatever it was he was doing, and then they're all going what they always do. They always yell questions. They want questions. Mr. President, do you want this? Mr. President, do you that? And so Biden yells back, and then he laughs at him like he's mocking them, like he's a rich emperor or something like that who mocks the media and then expects them to praise you. Here, listen. I don't know if you heard that. He goes, hey. Hold on, gotta go back a second. Right about here. Here we go. That was him going, Could you tell? Could you hear that? Yeah. It's hard to tell if you could hear it on your end. That's not a good look, is it? And then he sat there and laughed at him. That comes across like a king, a despot king. Oh, you all want me? Okay, take him away. Take the plebes away. Gosh, this guy's he does not know how to act right. And that's not even dimensional. It's like the guy doesn't realize what he's looking like here. There's less than 2 weeks left. The debate's in a week and a half. Both candidates have agreed to appear at a uniform podium, which is like, what is that? It's a single sit-down place. They're going to flip a coin to see who goes on the left, who goes on the right. The microphones will be muted throughout the debate, except for when the candidate's turn it is to speak. No props. No pre-written notes allowed on the stage. Candidates will be given a pen, a pad of paper, and a bottle of water Joe probably has some cheat notes on the pad of paper he gets. Just kidding. There will be no studio audience. 2 commercial breaks, as I mentioned. Campaign staff cannot talk to them or come out and coach them like Rocky does, sitting in the corner, between the bells. And, have Burgess Meredith. Come on, Rock. No, they don't get any of that. So, what do you think? No opening statements, by the way. 2-minute long closing statements. Wait, no, I'm sorry. 2-minute closing statements. So they each get a 2-minute closing statement, but no opening statement. Good. 2-minute answer on the shot clock. What is this, basketball? Shot clock? Really? 2-minute answer on the shot clock. 1 minute for rebuttals. Here's my questions on this. Do you think these conditions are favorable for Trump or Biden? And what would your advice be for President Trump on this upcoming debate in a week and a half? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Chime in right now. We have 4 lines open, 800-288-WBAP. That's 800-288-9227. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days from the debate. 10 days. That's including the weekend. So take that out. You got 7 days or 8 days. Anyways, 8 days. Here is the ad while we're waiting for folks to chime in at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. The questions are, do you think these conditions are favorable to Trump or Biden? And what would your advice be to President Trump on this debate? I think that it's favorable to Biden, but I think it's going to end up hurting Biden. You know why? The sitting for the whole time is favorable to Biden. It's only for him. He put that request through. The muting was Biden's too, but I think it's great because Biden's going to hang himself. Trump won't be able to interrupt him. I think this is going to force Trump to have to be quiet when he usually interrupts Joe, and Joe kicks ass a little bit, responding to him, excuse my language, but now he can't. He's going to go, he's going to trip over himself. Leighton in Cisco, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP. Hey, Leighton.
Hey, Chris.
Hello, sir.
That soundbite you were playing a little earlier sounded like the audio version of The Emperor's New Clothes.
Yeah, where he was mocking him?
Yes, sir.
That's exactly how it feels like, yes.
And my thought for the CNN town hall?
Yes. It's not a town hall. It's not a town hall. There will be nobody in there, so it's not a town hall at all. It's the antithesis of that. No one will be in there except for the CNN producers and cameramen and floor people that give the
yes,
10, 9, 8, and the host. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. I used the wrong term. I beg pardon.
Just to let people know, though. Yeah.
But President Trump is going into basically enemy ground, and I would strongly suggest that he keep his cool and insist on live TV that President Biden be checked for communication devices.
I think if he does it, it'll come across as a conspiracy theorist, and everybody in that room will, whether they want to or not, or mean to or not, they're going to laugh at him out loud. I think that'd be a big mistake.
Perhaps. My
question is, are you wearing a communications device, sir?
Well, yes, sir. That's the one I'm holding to my ear, talking to the esteemed Mr. Clark.
Okay, so the last but not least here, what's your advice for Trump on this debate other than that? And who does this favor, Biden or Trump, these conditions that were just laid out today?
On paper, they favor Biden.
Yep.
But if President Trump sticks to it, shows nothing but the truth, as he always has, I think that it comes out in his favor.
Because when Trump argues with him and cuts him off all the time, that does not make him look good. Makes him look bad, doesn't it? Isn't he his own worst enemy in these debates? Because he can do very well.
It definitely puts a sour taste in a lot of middle ground voters.
Yeah, like you and I watching that, we have times where we're pumping our fists. We're like lions getting fed raw meat. We're like, yeah! And then other times we're like, oh. So, yeah, this hopefully will eliminate the O's. Thanks for your call. All right, next is going to be Keith in Fort Worth. He's got some good advice for Trump about what he should do for Joe. I like what his thoughts are on that. So, Keith, you're next. We got 4 lines open. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. The rules of the debate were just released. I gave them to you. I'll share them again real fast when we come back. Plus, when we come back, I'm going to play that audio of a brand new Biden ad that just was unrolled today, a $50 million campaign ad buys across the swing states, and it's all about convicted felon. I'm working hard. He's a convicted felon. That's next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
In the courtroom, we see Donald Trump for who he is. He's been convicted of 34 felonies, found liable for sexual assault, and he committed financial fraud. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's been working, lowering health care costs and making big corporations pay their fair share. This election is between a convicted criminal who's only out for himself and a president who's fighting for your family.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this.
Joe Biden's working hard while Trump is molesting, raping, and committing felonies. Wow. Is it working? I don't think it's working. Look at the polls. So he's coming around going, boogity, boogity, boogity. Ah, boogeyman, scaring you. Ah, right? I don't think it's working, and I don't think it's going to work. Do you? A brand new ad just started running today. Well, you see these historic numbers coming in from African Americans in Michigan, Pennsylvania, that are breathtaking and unbelievable. The Harry Anton, CNN's top pollster, losing 21% of the black vote compared to last time 4 years ago for Biden. And the woogity boogity 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 man, that crap ain't, it doesn't mean anything. Woogity boogity, my bleep, my bank account's empty. I can't afford to get a half a basket of groceries because of you. Woogity boogie, my bleep. Can't fill up my gas tank because of you. Oogity boogity, my bleep. Are you stupid? We had the guy for 4 years. He wasn't putting black people in jail. He was helping black people to have jobs and be prosperous. All of us. All right. So the debate stuff came out. And here it is. Before we go to Keith and Fort Worth, and your call, 800-288-WBAP. Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Make that a preset. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. The debate's in a week and a half in Atlanta, June 27th, 90 minutes, 2 commercial breaks. Campaign staff may not interact with the candidate during that time. No, they can't talk to him for the whole 90 minutes. Both candidates agree to appear at a uniform podium. It's a sit-down grandpa elderly podium for cripples, if you will, even though nobody there is crippled. And podium positions determined by a coin flip. Microphone, I'm sure that'll be rigged for Joe. I'm just kidding. Microphones will be muted throughout the debate except for the candidate whose turn it is to speak. No props, no pre-written notes will be allowed on the stage. How much you want to bet Joe's going to write on his palm and look at it? I have been president for nearly 4 years now. Pause. I gotta go to the bathroom. Where do I go? Can somebody hold it for me? I can't reach down and see what's going on down there. No. Okay, stop. Microphones will be muted. No props, blah, blah, blah. They'll be given a pen, a pad of paper, and a bottle of water, and there'll be no studio audience. No opening statements. They each get a 2-minute closing statement, 2-minute answer on the shot clock, 1 minute for rebuttals. Okay, who does this favor? Do you think these conditions are favorable to Trump or Biden? And what would your advice be for President Trump on this debate? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Keith in Fort Worth, you're on 820 AM and now 93.3 FM WBAP.
Hey, Chris. I think that favors Biden about 100% because Trump feeds off a crowd.
Yes.
And not having an audience, it will disrupt Trump a little bit because he likes having a crowd there. He likes him cheering, the applauding, but also the moderator. The moderator is lefty.
It's going to be it's going to be lefties. It's going to be, sorry to interrupt you, but it's going to be Tapper and Bash, Dana Bash and Jack Tapper from Jason Tapper.
That's the worst people to moderate a debate. They need to have actually someone who claims to be a moderate.
Somebody who claims to be a moderate. Oh, everybody on that. Well, those two will claim they're a moderate.
Oh, someone like Joe Rogan, who's actually doesn't say
that would be great. I would think he would do a great job. There's no way Biden would do it because he knows that there would be no gamesmanship. It'd be direct, raw, and everything. Yeah, I think that'd be great. Trump would agree to that. Yeah.
But what Trump needs to do is make Joe angry. Because if you watch any of the old stuff with Biden about 4 years ago, a guy confronted him about gun control.
Yes.
And Biden said,
Dog-faced pony soldier? Oh, that one. Yeah, you want to step outside. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So when Biden gets angry or confronted about something, he speaks how he really is.
Right. You're right.
And so if Trump makes him angry and just keeps making him angry, two things are going to happen. He's going to start just being very spiteful and just rude, or he might stroke out.
Well, he won't stroke out, but he's going to lose it. I think you're right. He's going to lose it.
Well,
he's going to lose it.
He just might have a stroke and just...
You talk about Hunter? But if he does, he's got to be careful about it, because if he does it the wrong way, he'll get hurt by people. They'll be like,
I'm talking about Joe Biden. He might just have a stroke if he gets so angry.
I think that's a perverted, what do you call it? A perverted way, how do I say it? Inappropriate wishes, not wishful thinking, inappropriate wishful thinking.
I'm not wishing it.
I know.
That could happen.
Okay.
Because
all right.
Old people get angry.
They sure do. Get off of my lawn! I appreciate your call. But people say that I'm like that, and my friends say that I'm like that guy now. Get off of my lawn! All right. Do we want to pop Tom on real fast or no? Okay, Tom in Frisco, you're next. You have a great idea about Trump. What do you need to add? Oh, here we go. Tom in Frisco, you're next. I don't have the time to put you on now, but don't go anywhere. We'll have you on first out of the box. He has a great idea for what Trump should say. Meanwhile, and we're going to continue with this. And then, by the way, after this, we take a few more calls in the next segment. The 10 most offensive things you can do at a restaurant. 10 most offensive things people do at a restaurant. We'll get to that and have a lot of fun with that, too, coming up next.